key turned slowly in the old blue door. The hallway smelled of summer dust and wood. My footsteps crossed the faded kitchen floor. Everything was smaller than I remembered. A pale square remained where the clock had been. The curtains waited without moving. I stood inside the quiet afternoon, afraid that nothing here would know me. Then somewhere beyond the empty room, a familiar sound moved through the silence. I followed it across the floor, as if the apartment called my name. The sea was waiting behind the door, breathing the same way it did before. The years disappeared when the curtains rose, and the salt wind touched my face. The sea was waiting behind the door. I didn't know what I came here for, but something in me opened with the blue. The sea remembered me. I opened every window in the room. Warm air lifted papers from the table. A broken cup still stood beside the sink, with a little painted fish around it. I found my height marked on the kitchen wall, small lines climbing slowly toward the ceiling. I placed my hand beside the final mark and wondered when I stopped believing. I thought returning would feel like losing. I thought the past would ask me to stay, but the light moved gently through the rooms, and nothing tried to hold me. The sea was waiting behind the door, breathing the same way it did before. The years disappeared when the curtains rose, and the salt wind touched my face. The sea was waiting behind the door. I didn't know what I came here for, but something in me opened with the blue. The sea remembered me. A ferry crossed the edge of afternoon. Its white trail slowly vanished in the distance. I used to count them from this balcony, certain everyone was going somewhere. Now I could hear the years inside the waves, arriving and departing without sorrow. The room would soon belong to someone new, but the sea would still be here tomorrow. I didn't need the walls to keep me. I didn't need the summer to return. Some places leave their windows open long after we have gone. The sea was waiting behind the door, breathing the same way it did before. The years disappeared when the curtains rose, and the salt wind touched my face. The sea was waiting behind the door. Now I know what I came here for. I came to meet the girl I used to be, and tell her she could leave. The the day back to me. Behind the door, the sea was waiting. Behind the door, it remembered me. The curtains rose, the blue came in. I'm still here, I can leave now. The sea was waiting. The sea was waiting. In the bottom drawer I found a photograph. A little girl was laughing at the sun. Her hair was wild from running by the water. One sandal gone and both her knees were scraped. She held a shell as if it were a treasure. She thought the whole wide sea belonged to her. She didn't know that summers ever ended. She only knew how happy moments felt. For a moment I almost envied her. Then I remembered what she gave to me. She trusted every morning without asking, and some of that is still inside of me. Somewhere in me she still laughs, running barefoot through the afternoon. She doesn't know the weight I carry now. I didn't know how quickly I would grow. I've learned how quietly a heart can ache. I've learned that answers don't arrive on time. But when I look into her fearless eyes, something in me still looks the same. Now every year arrives with more decisions, more plans to keep, more promises to make. Some nights I lie awake beside my worries and count the little things I couldn't save. I learned to speak as if I wasn't frightened. I learned to smile when I was running low. The girl inside that faded summer picture would ask me why I hurry everywhere. I tell her growing up is full of beauty, but beauty doesn't keep the sadness out. You learn to carry joy beside the sorrow, and both of them can live inside one heart. Somewhere in me she still laughs, running barefoot through the afternoon. She doesn't know the weight I carry now. I didn't know how quickly I would grow. I've lost a few of her impossible dreams. I found some truths she couldn't understand. But when the sea wind catches in my hair, I feel her reaching for my hand. I sat beside the window with the picture and watched the evening settle on the sea. I tried to see the woman she imagined, then try to see the child still living in me. She noticed all the ways that I am different, the careful voice, the tiredness in my eyes. But she would also know my sudden laughter and how I still believe the morning light. I don't need to become that girl again. I couldn't even if I wanted to. I only need me to keep a place within me where she can still remind me what is true. Somewhere in me she still laughs, running barefoot through the afternoon. She grew with me through every disappointment. She stayed through every year I thought she'd gone. I've learned how quietly a heart can ache. I've learned that joy can carry sadness too. Everything has changed since that old summer, and something beautiful has not. Somewhere in me she still laughs, and now I think she always will. I'm not the girl inside the photograph, but part of her is with me still. She still laughs, I still hear her barefoot in the sun, running by the sea. I didn't lose her, she grew with me. She still laughs somewhere in me, somewhere in me. Somewhere in me. We raced our bicycles down to the harbor, with summer dust rising under every wheel. We bought cold soda from the little shop and counted all the boats beside the pier. The fishing ropes became enchanted bridges. The lighthouse was a castle in the sky. We didn't need a map to find adventure. The afternoon was wider than our lives. We thought the road beyond the seawall must lead to every place we'd ever need. Nothing in the world felt far away then. Nothing felt too large for us to dream. The harbor was our whole world. Every boat could take us anywhere. Every wave became a new beginning. Every summer day was ours to share. The harbor was our whole world. We were rich with nothing in our hands. I have seen so much since I was that girl, but nothing ever felt that grand. We drew our names in chalk beside the seawall, then watched the tide erase them one by one. We made a flag from someone's yellow towel and claimed the empty beach before the sun. We waved to strangers standing on the ferries, certain they were waving back at us. We promised we would visit every island before we knew how promises could rust. Back then a coin could buy a whole adventure. An hour could feel longer than a year. We never asked how quickly time was moving. We only knew that everyone was here. The harbor was our whole world. Every boat could take us anywhere. Every wave became a new beginning. is filled with distant places, with crowded days and choices I must make. I know how much a simple answer cost me. I know how many promises can break. The harbor looks much smaller from the balcony. The lighthouse isn't touching any stars. But when a ferry sounds across the water, for one bright moment nothing feels that far. Maybe wonder never really leaves us. Maybe it grows quieter through the years, waiting in the places where we left it, under all our knowledge and our fears. The harbor was our whole world. Every boat could take us anywhere. Every wave became a new beginning. Every summer day was ours to share. The harbor was our whole world, and a part of me is living there. I've grown beyond those streets and seawalls, but that little girl still takes me there. The harbor is in my whole world now. Still it's on my heart how wide to be. Everything around me became smaller, but something there stayed endless inside me. Our whole world right beside the sea. Every boat was a promise, every day was free. Our whole world still alive in me. I remember right beside the sea. The evening settles softly on the floor, where sunlight used to find us after school. I left one cup beside the empty table, then almost reached to pour another too. The hallway kept the shape of all our footsteps, though no one walked beside me now. A grown woman stood inside the quiet, still waiting for the house to make a sound. I thought adulthood would feel like arriving somewhere certain, somewhere bright. I didn't know that growing older could make the smallest silence fill the night. After the laughter, the silence knows my name. I grew into the life I used to dream of, but it doesn't feel the same after the laughter. I hear the younger me. Everything has changed between us, but she still looks out through my eyes. My phone lit up with work I hadn't finished, and questions I was tired of answering. The girl I was would call this life important. She'd never guess how lonely it could feel. I used to think that being independent meant never needing anyone. Now I know that strength can look like sitting with all the things I couldn't outrun. caused. After the laughter, the silence knows my name. I grew into the life I used to dream of, but it doesn't feel the same. After the laughter, I hear the younger me. Everything has changed between us, but she still looks out through my eyes. A sudden laugh escaped me at the memory of dancing in the kitchen in our socks. For 1 second all the years collapsed around me, and I was both the woman and the child. No one came running from the hallway, and no one called me back to bed. Still the warmth of who we used to be moved through the silence in my chest. Between us, but she still looks out through my eyes. I'm not the girl who filled these days with laughter, and I don't need to be. But every time I smile without a reason, I know she hasn't left me. After the laughter, I walk the road beside the harbor where we used to race the evening home. The cafe with the striped blue awning had faded into a hardware store. The boats were painted different colors, and strangers tied them to the pier. I searched the faces by the market for someone who was no longer here. The town had learned to live without us, and every year had left a mark. Then the water touched the seawall with the rhythm I still knew by heart. The tide never forgot your name, it brought it back with every wave. The town moved on, but the water stayed, still saying what we couldn't save. The tide never asked you to return, it only kept the years in blue. I learned to let the past be past, but every evening sounds like you. Had silver running through her hair. She looked at me for half a second, then smiled as if I still lived there. She asked if I remembered summer when storms would shake the window frames. I said that I remembered everything, except how quickly people change. We carry time inside our bodies while the ocean carried none. It met the shore with the same patience under every setting sun. The tide never forgot your name, it brought it back with every wave. The town moved on, but the water stayed, still saying what we couldn't save. The tide never asked you to return, it only kept the years in blue. I learned to let the past be past, but every evening sounds like you. I used to think that being faithful meant holding every memory still. But even love can keep its beauty after losing what it couldn't hold. You're somewhere far beyond this harbor, with years I'll never get to know. Still I'm grateful for the girl I was when we believed we'd never go. Bring you back into the life I made. It's enough to hear the water keeping what the years erased. The tide never forgot your name, it brought it back with every wave. The town moved on, but the water stayed, still saying what we couldn't save. The tide never asked you to return, it only kept the years in blue. I learned to love what couldn't last and let the sea remember you. Some names remain inside the water long after voices disappear. Some love becomes a quiet coastline that we can visit without fear. The tide remembers, the tide remembers your name in the water, your name in the blue. I don't need you to return. The tide remembers, the tide I came home with the evening on my shoulders and left my shoes beside the kitchen door. The hallway light was warmer than the harbor, but my hands were still cold from the shore. I pulled my sweater slowly from my body and held it for a moment in the room. Then salt and wind rose softly from the fabric, and all at once the sea came home with me. One small breath opened the whole evening, the pier, the gulls, the fading summer blue. I thought the walk had ended at my doorway, but every thread was still remembering you. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater, it carried evening through the door. The room was warm, but when I held it, I heard the waves against the shore. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater, it by the wall. I saw us by the glowing vending machine with coins too cold to hold inside our hands. You laughed because the coffee tasted awful, then drank it like it came from somewhere grand. The gulls were circling over empty benches. The harbor lights were waking one by one. We talked about the lives we hadn't lived yet, as if the years would wait for us forever. Memory never asked before returning. It finds the smallest doorway it can use. Tonight it chose the salt inside my sweater and gave me back the things I didn't choose to lose. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater. It carried evening through the door. The room was warm, but when I held it, I heard the waves against the shore. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater. A little summer folded small. One breath brought back the whole blue evening. I thought I'd left it by the wall. I folded it and placed it on the chair, but still the room was filled with open water. The years between that evening and this one became as thin as mist above the harbor. I know the scent will disappear by morning, and ordinary air will fill the room. Still I'm grateful something so unimportant could bring an entire summer back so soon. We don't decide which moments stay beside us, or what small thing will make them reappear. Sometimes the life returns without a warning, in salt and cloth and wind we almost hear. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater. It carried evening through the door. The room was warm, but when I held it, I heard our laughter by the shore. The smell of salt stayed in my sweater. A little summer folded small. I couldn't keep the years from leaving, but one soft breath returned them all. Salt in my sweater, summer in the fabric, the pier in the evening, your laugh by the sea. One breath remembered, one breath brought it home. Salt in my sweater, a whole summer returned. Behind the house, the laundry line was turning white shirts and towels into little sails. I touched the cloth still warm from afternoon, and smelled the sea inside the cotton folds. We used to hang our swimsuits there together, then race our bicycles before they dried. The whole day followed us across the harbor, vows we couldn't make remain. Then one warm gust lifted every sleeve, and summer opened in the yard again. Our summer is still drying in the wind, while white towels dance above the garden walls. The years moved on, but every time they rise, I hear our bicycles along the road. Our summer is still drying in the wind, with ice cream melting underneath the sun. The season ended somewhere long ago, but somewhere in me it still carries on. We carried ice cream down the narrow footpath and laughed each time it melted on our hands. We counted fireworks from the old back steps until the smoke became a silver cloud. Our friends would shout our names across the garden while radio songs came drifting through the screen. We thought the future waited past September and couldn't touch the summer in between. I know those voices won't return exactly as they sounded in the heat. Still, every sheet that rises with the breeze brings all their laughter running back to me. Our summer is still drying in the wind, while white towels dance above the garden walls. The years moved on, but every time they rise, I hear our bicycles along the road. Our summer is still drying in the wind, with ice cream melting underneath the sun. The season ended somewhere long ago, but somewhere in me it still carries on. Now calendars are crowded with reminders, and every season seems to leave too soon. I fold the towels neatly on the table, the way my mother taught me long ago. But when the wind runs softly through the courtyard, I see us racing barefoot through the light. I can't go back and live that summer over, but something in me never said goodbye. Growing up has changed the way I carry every joy I once believed would stay. Still, the girl who danced beneath the laundry moves inside me when the white cloth sways. Our summer is still drying in the wind, while white towels dance above the garden walls. The years moved on, but every time they rise, I hear our bicycles along the road. Our summer is still drying in the wind and floating weightless underneath the sun. I know I can't return to who we were, but somewhere in me it still carries on. Still in the wind, still in the light. Bicycles by the sea, fireworks and stepped onto the balcony at sunset and found the railing warm beneath my hands. The harbor opened wider than my memory, gold water reaching past the roofs and wires. A rusted chair still leaned against the corner where we once watched the ferries disappear. The years had changed the houses and the shoreline, but summer felt as close as it had been. I thought the time had taken everything and left me only photographs to keep. Then one bright gust moved softly through my hair, and something old awakened underneath. The balcony where summer stayed still opens to the same white blue. The years have taken so much away, but left this view to pull me through. The balcony where summer stayed still holds the warmth beneath my hands. I can't go back to who I was, but I can feel her where I stand. We used to bring our dinners to the evening and balance every plate along our knees. A little radio played through open windows while someone laughed below us in the street. We named the distant boats after our wishes and chose the clouds we wanted them to chase. I didn't know those ordinary hours would become the ones I couldn't replace. Back then the future seemed beyond the water, a shining place that waited just for me. Now I have crossed more distance than I dreamed of, and still the small horizon makes me breathe. The balcony where summer stayed still opens to the same white blue. The years have taken so much away, but left this view to pull me through. The balcony where summer stayed still holds the warmth beneath my hands. I can't go back to who I was, but I can feel her where I stand. The evening breeze turned cooler on my shoulders, and one by one the harbor lights came on. I saw my younger shadow in the doorway, still certain every summer would be long. She couldn't know the losses I would carry, or how much strength the quiet life would need. But standing there, I didn't feel divided. She was the beginning still in me. I don't have to keep the past from fading, or ask these walls to make the years return. Some places hold no promise of forever, yet give us back the parts we left behind. The balcony where summer stayed still opens to the same white blue. bury both my feet in sand and use my towel as a throne. I watch the clouds above the beach and name them one by one. The first was Captain Melonhead, sailing on a pancake whale. Then came a rabbit made of noodles, trying to bite its own long tail. A dragon looked exactly like a potato wearing a crown. A seagull stole the entire zoo and slowly turned it upside down. Cloud zoo, cloud zoo. The animals are floating by. A pancake whale, a noodle hare, and one confused giraffe drift by. Cloud zoo, cloud zoo. Admission's free for me and you. The tide can wait, the sun can stay, while we name every cloud in view. Cloud zoo, cloud zoo. The animals are floating by. A pancake whale, a noodle hare, and one confused giraffe drift by. Cloud zoo, cloud zoo. Admission's free for me and you. The tide can wait, the sun can stay, while we name every cloud in view. The cupboards held a little smell of cedar and pale squares where the pictures used to be. I crossed the empty room without a sound, then opened up the balcony once more. The rusted latch resisted like it always had, and the railing warmed beneath my hand. The sea wind moved the curtain through the doorway, as if the house were breathing out at last. I used to think goodbye would feel like something breaking clean in two. Instead, the room grew quiet and the ocean kept on moving into blue. The sea was still there, beyond the roofs, beyond the years. I closed the door and gave away the key, but no one could take the horizon from me. The sea was still there and turned to gold beneath the evening air. I left the ruins that knew me when I was small. Downstairs I placed the key in someone's hand and watched it vanish in a stranger's palm. They said the rooms would soon belong to others, and I was surprised by how calmly I could stand. I signed my name beneath the final paper and heard the gate click shut behind me. The road was bright with late afternoon sunlight, and salt was waiting in the moving air. I thought my childhood lived upstairs behind a door I couldn't keep. Then every wave below the hill brought back the part I thought I'd have to leave. The sea was still there, beyond the roofs, beyond the years. I closed the door and gave away the key, but no one could take the horizon from me. The sea was still there and turned to gold beneath the evening air. I left the rooms that knew me when I was small and carried all their blue wherever I would go. A white sheet lifted somewhere on a balcony, and one small ferry crossed the open blue. The clouds kept changing names above the water, just as they had when every day was new. I turned around and let the building disappear behind the houses leaning towards the shore. For the first time, leaving didn't feel like losing, because that place had given me enough. A home can close behind me and still remain in how I see. Some doors are made for leaving, but the horizon learned to travel with me. The sea was still there, beyond the roofs, beyond the years. I closed the door and gave away the key, but no one took the horizon from me. The sea is still there, beyond the roofs, beneath the evening air. I left the rooms that knew me when I was small, but carry all their blue wherever I go. Nothing ended at the doorway, nothing vanished with the key. The house became a distant window, the ocean stayed with me. Still there, still blue, beyond the roofs, beyond the years. I gave away the key, I kept the horizon. The sea is still there, still there. The sea is still there. china box was waiting by the doorway, with things I thought I couldn't leave behind. A chipped blue cup, 2 postcards, and a seashell, small evidence of someone else's life. I held each one beneath the morning sunlight, then slowly placed them back where they had been. The room looked empty when I closed the curtains, but I didn't feel that anything was missing. The things we love don't always need a suitcase or a place upon a shelf. Some summers leave their light inside us and teach the heart to carry them itself. I took nothing but the summer, warm and weightless in my hands. I left the keys, the cups, the pictures, but carried sunlight from the sand. I took nothing but the summer, every wave and open sky. My suitcase barely held a sweater, but my heart was full when I said goodbye. I walked once more around the quiet kitchen and touched the marks beside the wooden door. They measured every year that I grew taller, though I was small beside them once no more. The balcony was bright with moving shadows, a white towel lifting like a little sail. I smiled because the wind still knew the stories that furniture and photographs could never tell. I used to think that leaving meant deciding what to lose and what to save, but memory has lighter hands than mine and keeps the things no empty room can take. I took nothing but the summer, warm and weightless in my hands. I left the keys, the cups, the pictures, but carried sunlight from the sand. I took nothing but the summer, every wave and open sky. My suitcase barely held a sweater, but my heart was full when I said goodbye. The road away curved gently past the harbor, and every rooftop disappeared from view. A ferry crossed the distance like a promise that leaving doesn't make a place less true. The town grew smaller in the rearview mirror, but all its colors traveled at my side. I came with empty boxes for the ending and left with more than anything could hide. I couldn't keep the rooms forever, but they had already given me enough. The sea had placed a summer in me that time could change, but never take away. I took nothing but the summer, warm and weightless in my hands. I left the keys, the cups, the pictures, but carried sunlight from the sand. I took nothing but the summer, every wave and open sky. My suitcase barely held a sweater, but my heart was full when I said the whole coast traveled home with me. Nothing but the summer, nothing but the blue sunlight in my hands, sea wind moving through. I left the key behind, I kept what still was mine. Nothing but the summer, and that was more than enough. Back in my room, I opened up the suitcase and placed my sweater on the balcony chair. The morning sun found tiny grains of salt, still caught like silver in the dark blue thread. I brushed them with my fingers, then I stopped, because the harbor rose inside the air. The journey home had ended hours ago, but somehow part of that coast had followed me. I thought the summer lived behind me in rooms that someone else would soon call home. Small trace upon my sleeve brought every wave across the miles I'd gone. Sea salt on the balcony was shining softly in the morning light. I left the shore, but something blue was breathing with me through the night. Sea salt on the balcony brought a little coast home with me. Didn't stay behind, it learned to travel quietly. I saw the towels lifting in the courtyard, the ferries crossing gold beneath the sun. I heard our bicycles beside the seawall and laughter near the old drink machine. A pancake whale went sailing through the clouds while evening gathered slowly on the roof. So many days I thought had disappeared were waiting in one scent of wind and cloth. Sure, but something blue was breathing with me through the night. Sea salt on the balcony brought a little coast home with me. The summer didn't stay behind, it learned to travel quietly. Didn't wash the last sea breath away. the same warm wind across my face. A place can disappear behind me without becoming something I have lost. The sea has changed the way I listen, and summer lives in everything it touches. Sea salt on the balcony was shining softly in the morning light. I left the shore, but all its blue is breathing with me through my life. Sea